This is Keshav Murthy. I was formerly Director, Indian Institute of Tropical Meteorology, Pune. Earlier, I was also Professor at Physical Research Laboratory, Ahmedabad. After my tenure as Director, IITM, I spent several years lecturing on various aspects of atmospheric dynamics at several Indian university departments. It was felt that if this material is compiled and made into a book form, it could be of use to beginners and students. So this book contains, I want to give you an overview of this book in particular and of this subject in general. So this book contains the following chapters. The first chapter is basic governing equations. The second chapter deals with energetics of the atmosphere. The third chapter deals with atmospheric general circulation. Fourth chapter deals with waves in the atmosphere, different kinds of wave motions. The fifth chapter deals with large-scale atmospheric modeling. The sixth chapter deals with hydrodynamic instability. We'll go to some details of the first chapter to give you a flavor of this book. The first chapter deals with basic governing equations. Many of the atmospheric motion systems, like for example the atmospheric general circulation, that is the climatic wind system, and another example is tropical cyclone and some other weather systems, many of these are largely driven by differential heating. There are of course other effects also, but because these are fluid motion and also driven by differential heating, we need equations of fluid dynamics and equations of thermodynamics. The following are the equations. First is equation of motion. The next is continuity equation. Next is equation of state. Then first law of thermodynamics. The first equation, we will go to some details of the first equation. Equation of motion. Equation of motion is Newton's second law of motion written for a parcel of air. We usually write this for unit mass, 1 kilogram or 1 gram, whatever unit you are using. dv by dt, the acceleration. Here v is the vector wind. dv by dt is acceleration. P is pressure, g is gravity, v is again wind velocity, f is frictional force. dv by dt, the acceleration, is equal to vector sum of all the forces acting on the parcel minus alpha LD is the pressure gradient force. The air moves from high pressure to low pressure. That force driving this under pressure gradient, that is pressure gradient force. G is gravity, because the atmosphere is under Earth's gravitational field. The Earth is pulling the atmosphere down, attracting, so that is G, gravity. This is frictional force. This force is called the Coriolis force. This arises because of the rotation of the Earth. It's very important. It's a special feature of rotating fluids. So we have the following types of forces: pressure gradient force, gravity, Coriolis force, friction force. So the acceleration is equal to the vector sum of all the vector addition of all the forces acting on the parcel. It is convenient to decompose this vector equation into three scalar components along three directions, three coordinate system, coordinate axis. We use various kinds of coordinate systems for atmospheric dynamic studies. The most common is the so-called local coordinate system. If you live in Bangalore, you imagine a tangent to the sphere of the earth at Bangalore, and on this tangent the x-axis points towards the east, the y-axis points towards the north, and z-axis points upwards. These are the three component scalar equations along the x, y and z directions. du by dt is equal to minus alpha delta p by delta x plus fx, like this. UVW are the scalar components of the vector wind v along the x, y, z and z coordinate directions. Now coming to the third equation, we are mostly concerned with large scale motion in the atmosphere. The horizontal scales are of 1000 kilometers. The vertical scale is about 10 kilometers. The time scale is about a day, of the order of a day. The horizontal velocities, speeds, are of the order of 10 meters per second, whereas the vertical velocity is of the order of 1 centimeter per second. For these large scale motions, in the third equation, dw by dt, the vertical acceleration, is much smaller compared to these forces. This is the vertical, so this equation can be approximated as minus alpha delta p by delta z equals g. This is you will recognize this is a well-known hydrostatic approximation, hydrostatic balance. The vertical pressure gradient force, which acts from high pressure in the lower level to low pressure in the upper levels, vertically upwards, is balanced by gravity, which acts downwards. In the atmosphere and for large scale motions, this is a very good approximation. Now coming back to the other equations, in this equation, du by dt is the acceleration, horizontal acceleration along the x direction. For large scale motion, this acceleration, du by dt and dv by dt, these are also one order smaller than these forces, the pressure gradient force and the Coriolis force. So we can approximate these first two equations as minus alpha delta p by delta x equals minus fv, minus alpha delta p by delta y equals plus fu. This is known as geostrophic approximation, and the wind so derived is called the geostrophic wind. So in a rotating atmosphere, fluid like the atmosphere, the wind blows almost parallel to lines of a constant pressure called isobars. This is a special feature of rotating fluids like the atmosphere. Normally in a laboratory fluid, the fluid flows from high pressure to low pressure. Here it blows almost parallel to the pressure lines, equal lines of pressure. So the characteristic of the atmosphere is, in the horizontal wind, is under geostrophic balance. In the vertical, we have of course the hydrostatic balance. So this we deal with balanced flows. The du by dt, the acceleration, is called the total, we call it the total derivative. This is following the derivative, following the fluid parcel. This is equal to delta u by delta t, local derivative, local change, plus these are called the advection terms. These two are called the horizontal advection terms. This is called the vertical advection term. We will go into details later. The next equation, important equation, is continuity equation. This is a mathematical statement of the well-known physical principle of conservation of mass. This law says that mass can neither be created nor destroyed. So this is a mathematical statement of this well-known physical principle, which all of you are mostly familiar. So this is the mathematical form of the equation. Next equation is equation of state. This, by combining Charles and Boyle's laws, we get an equation of state. P alpha is equal to RT. Actually, the atmosphere is a mixture of gases. So we write this equation for a mixture of gases. P alpha is equal to RT. P is pressure, T is temperature, alpha is specific volume, 1 over rho, where rho is density. R here is a gas constant for unit mass. The next law is first law of thermodynamics. Here, if we add a small amount of heat, dq, to the atmospheric fluid, it does two things. First, it increases the internal energy of the atmosphere. That means it increases the temperature. Second is, it does work. The PD alpha, it does work. So these two, this is also written as a differential equation. dq by dt is cv dt by dt plus pd alpha by dt, or cp dt minus alpha dp by dt. So we have these 6 equations, 3 equations of motion along 3 directions, x, y, z, then continuity equation, then equation of state, then first law of thermodynamics. These are 6 ordinary, not ordinary, these are 6 partial differential equations, first order partial differential equations, in 6 unknowns. What are the unknowns? P, pressure, alpha, rho, then T, temperature, then UVW, 6 unknowns. So these are 6 equations in 6 unknowns. So these are, so this is a closed system. For any problem that we want to solve in the atmosphere or study mathematically, we use these equations. We'll go to the next details in the next talk. So we will stop here for the present.